and one that you guys are going to be very upset about, but I say is a reclamation of something I said earlier in the year. Mr. Robot, season
No,
four. Mr.
I don't,
Robot.
Jay, I don't know a single person other
No.
than you who's watched it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's currently on Netflix, Rhea. It's making a
Yeah.
resurgence. People are loving it. They're
Oh
finding
God.
out what a great show it was. I will be vindicated on this.
Oh,
So, Mr.
awful.
Robot. And welcome back, everybody, to a very exciting episode of the TV show. I always say very exciting episode, Rhea Hughes. What if one day I just said, welcome to a very boring episode? You can just skip it.
You got to
Angelo,
sell it.
Yeah.
Angelo Cataldi nodding over there. He knows that when I'm hosting, it generally does drift more boring than it should. But we're going to start, I think, with a topic that is very near and dear to Angelo Cataldi's heart because he's been singing the praises of this show for quite some time. And I need to give you a little background, Rhea, because I don't think you quite knew what I was talking about when I sent the initial breakdown.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. IMDb lets you rate every episode of a show.
Okay.
And some shows, you get like an aggregate rating at the end of the season as to what people thought about the show. In the history of IMDb, there has only been 7 shows that have had 5 9+ episodes in a row,
Wow.
meaning 5 perfect episodes right in a row. Dexter Resurrection just became the 8th show in the
Wow.
history of IMDb to have 5 9+ in a row, and they still have 3 episodes left. So I thought it might be interesting. We'd let Angelo talk a little bit about this show and why everybody should watch it. And then I want to see if you guys can guess the other 7 shows because it represents what I think, what the world thinks, the best shows of the last 20 years. So, Angelo, let's start with
Wow.
you. Tell me about Dexter Resurrection.
It's never ever been better than it is right now, and what is really its third different manifestation. And it was great the first 4 seasons originally at Showtime back 20 years ago, and then the showrunner Clyde Phillips left, and it went right downhill. They did 4 more seasons. It was nowhere near the quality of the Clyde Phillips season, and then they ended it with one of the worst episodes ending a series ever. Right now, back then, I would say Dexter it might be in the top 100 of all time shows because it was the big hit of Showtime
Yeah.
when they were first doing original programming. What's amazing about it is they then decided to bring it back to redo the ending, and they did a whole season leading to a different ending. And I won't give away the ending, but it was fantastic. So great, so well received that they started a prelude show where Dexter was young, just to show you that part, did that brilliantly, and then brought back Dexter Resurrection. And let me just tell you, I fully understand how it got these ratings. These shows are remarkable. They are incredible. Just picture Michael C. Hall is one of the creepiest people who has ever done a show. And he is so creepy in the new part. And then they bring in Peter Dinklage as this guy who holds like dinner meetings with only serial killers.
Hmm.
What?
And this season, so they're only and Dexter only kills horrible people.
Huh.
But now he gets to meet all the biggest serial killers in the world, and he starts picking them off one by one. And it's
Wow.
so great. The premise is great. Peter Dinklage is unbelievably great in it, and it's fantastic. And I did a little analysis of it, and the reason that it's better than ever is because of the guy who created the show, Clyde Phillips, coming back to it, realizing this was his master work and going back and making it great again. And it is one of the greatest things on TV. I would say it went from a top 100 show in my eyes now to a top 10.
Wow.
I mean, I'm putting it up there with Sopranos, Breaking Bad, some of the greatest shows because it is just so well done. And Michael C. Hall, if he doesn't get an Emmy for the way he has done this season. Ah, it's too good to believe. I don't want it to end. Please don't end it again.
And,
Don't end it again.
and the creator there joins Larry David as the only creator I know that went back to an ending and said, "All right,
Yep,
let's fix
he
it."
did. And
Yeah,
he did.
which I'm glad he
Same
did.
thing.
Rhea, any interest in this show at all, or is it too bloody for
So
you?
I watched like the first season of the original and I did like it, and but it didn't grab me enough. But what I will say is my son, who's 16, loves it. He loved the new one so much he started watching it. He went back and watched the original and is now watching the new one. He thinks it's phenomenal.
Well, there's a
Oh,
reason, Rhea. The reason is, I think, that your son would relate to Dexter's son, Harrison,
Oh,
who is a little older, but not a lot older, who is trying to deal with the fact that his father's a serial killer and he has some of the same urges. And it's
well,
great for young kids.
Clark's father is a little odd, so he has
Yep.
to deal with that, but not a serial killer.
No, let me
Just
just
odd.
say that it's really, I'm telling you, for kids in that teen to 25 range, they would really enjoy it because of the involvement of the son now.
Yeah.
It's so damn good. I can't tell you how great it is. See it on Paramount Plus or Showtime. You will see what we're talking about.
all right. I want to see if you guys can guess some of the other shows with five.
And I didn't cheat, Jay.
All right.
It
No,
was
me
very
either.
hard for me not to cheat, but
No
I did
cheating.
not cheat and look up the
All right,
list.
to make it a little easy on you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a couple of shows that have 4 episodes in a row.
Okay.
And that would be BoJack Horseman season 5,
What?
Dexter, the original Dexter season
Wait, what was the
4,
first one you said?
BoJack Horseman, the Netflix animated.
Cartoon.
Ah,
Stinks.
So Dexter
Stinko.
season 4, which makes sense, right? I mean, that's a great season. Justified season 6, 6 Feet Under season 5, Succession season 4, and The Sopranos season 6. So those are shows with
Wow.
4 in a row. There's 6 that you can get that have 5 in a row. See if you can guess what would
all right,
have.
I'll throw one out there. It was not one I watched, but I know people were obsessed with it, especially one Al Morgani who spoke to me about it every single like Monday. Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones season 4 has 5 in a row. That is
Perfect.
great job
All
by
right.
you, Rhea. Angelo, see if you can guess one.
Breaking Bad.
Wonderfully done. Season 5. It holds the record, Angelo.
Yeah.
12 episodes in a row.
Oh,
Basically,
Wow.
the entirety of the end of season 5 is
Wow.
considered some of the best ever. All right, Rhea, got another guess.
well, Game of Thrones. I mean, The Sopranos is on my list, but you said it only did 4, so I'm going to try one. But I don't know when it started and when it ended. But since it is referenced repeatedly on WIP, The Wire.
No, The Wire does not have any on either list. So
Wow.
Wow, The
we'll
Wire
do
is great.
one strike. If we get to 3 strikes, I'll just give
All
you
right.
the thing.
Okay. I'm going to take a shot here at West Wing.
Oh,
West Wing is on neither list.
Ah!
Angelo.
wow.
Now remember, this is not bad shows. It's just 5 or more episodes in a
Great
row
ones.
of greatness. Just a
Right.
string of races.
Woo,
Right.
we're in trouble, Rhea.
2 strikes, Rhea.
Come on, Rhea.
It's on you.
Get us going.
All right, I'm going to try. But see, Jay told me it's not, they're all dramas.
Yep.
But what I know, I'm just going to throw it out there because sometimes it was a drama. Wait, is there anyone? Can I ask one? Can I get one hint?
Yes.
Is there anyone that's within the last 2 to 3 years?
Let's see. Last 2 to 3
I know
years.
where she's going.
No.
Oh!
Most of these, Rhea, other than Dexter Resurrection, which
Where
is
did
the
you
latest
think I was
one.
going, Ange?
The beer. I thought you were
Season
going to
1.
beer.
Yeah.
I was
but
doing the
no.
Bear season 1.
no.
Okay.
Neither list.
I'm just going to throw it. I know it's not. It's a Modern Family. I don't know.
No. All right. I'll give it to you.
Let's
Here
hear
we go. So Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Season 5.
Yes.
Vince
Yes.
Gilligan knows how to end the show.
Yes.
One that I've never heard of. This looks like it's an anime or I don't know. Something called Dark. I've never heard of Dark. Have you heard of Dark?
Never heard
No.
of it.
It's the only one I've never heard of. Lost season 3.
I thought Lost might be on there.
At the
Right.
end,
Wow.
at the end there, leading up to the greatest moment in broadcast television drama history, maybe, with "We Need to Go Back." You
Yeah.
remember at the end of Lost at that last season? Fantastic. And one that you guys are going to be very upset about, but I say is a reclamation of something I said earlier in the year. Mr. Robot, season
Oh,
No.
4. Mr.
oh,
Robot.
Jay, I don't know a single person other
no.
than you who's watched it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's currently on Netflix, Rhea. It's making a
Yep.
resurgence. People are loving it. They're
Oh,
finding
God.
out what a great show it was. I will be vindicated on this.
Oh,
So Mr.
awful.
Robot. So that's
Good
surprising.
list.
If
Good
there's any
list.
that surprised you, please write in and let us know. We want to hear from you if there's one that deserves to be on.
Yeah. What is Dark? We didn't even hear of this
Yeah, I've
stupid.
never
Never
heard
heard
of
of it.
Dark. Do you
Oh, yeah.
guys watch Dark? What is that?
I don't know.
It,
Don't
it
know.
sounds made up. It might just be
It
something
sounds dark.
that. All right. Speaking of dark, let's talk about Stranger Things for a second. It's coming back on in November. I know my daughter's super excited about it, and it just came out last week. I've looked all over. I can't get the actual pricing on this, but every bit of reporting says it's a gigantic, with a capital G, deal. The Duffer Brothers, the people who made Stranger Things, signed with Paramount a deal to make movies and to make TV shows exclusively for the streamer. And this comes after a bidding war between it and Netflix. Now, here's a couple of names I want to throw out. Benioff and Weiss, the people who did Game of Thrones, they got 200 million from Netflix. Ryan Murphy got 300 million from Netflix. Shonda Rhimes, 300 million, Netflix. J.J. Abrams, half a billion, half a B from HBO. Greg Berlanti, 400 million from the CW. Taylor Sheridan, 500 million Paramount. Russo brothers, undisclosed but very big from Amazon. Here's my question, Rhea. None of these people, other than Taylor Sheridan, paid off with any of these deals. None of them made a show. Ryan Murphy has one or two. Shonda Rhimes has one or two, but nowhere near the justification of this money. Why are they throwing this money at these people if the deals don't pay off? I don't get it.
First of all, I now know why my Netflix fees are going up so much because of all
Yeah.
Okay.
the money that
Yep.
they're paying. And by the way, Angelo, I want the name of your guy. I think that I'm double dipping on a lot of stuff that I
Yep.
don't realize that I get for free. But that's a conversation for another day.
He's a
Um,
cable man and he fixes everything so that you don't pay extra.
that's what I want. So we're gonna have to get him. And if I get him, we're gonna maybe put him on our show and we'll
Yes.
tell everybody to do it. Um, I just think they're names. I mean, it's like anything. Why do people, pay for Dior? And if that's, I don't even know if I'm
Yeah,
pronouncing it
it's
right.
true. Yeah.
That's, you know, you're paying for the name because see, you guys pay more attention to the names of people who are showrunners. And I don't pay any attention to them. I only know some of their names. I only know Zaslav because you talk about him repeatedly. Otherwise, I don't pay attention to it. But when I look at what the list you sent me, I'm going, there it's like paying an athlete who's around 33
Yeah.
a bazillion-dollar contract because of what he did when he was 25. And I think they're making the same mistake. And I think that you will eventually, with Netflix, with all these streamers, see caps on these things because
Yeah.
you just can't throw that kind of money because you had one massive hit.
Hmm.
That's a very good
Yeah.
point. I love the athlete comparison there, Angelo. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
She's dead on with this. The one massive hit is what all these people had.
Yeah.
And the fact is that most showrunners, most creators of television, especially dramas, have one great show in them. All right, I'll give you an example. We were just talking about Clyde Phillips and Dexter. All
Yeah.
right. You know the two shows he did prior to this? Feed the Beast. Did
Never
anyone
heard of
see
it.
that?
No,
No,
And
never
the
heard of it.
other one is the stinker. Suddenly Susan. That
Oh
no.
yeah, I
awful
remember that. Yeah.
sitcom, right? Who was that with?
Brooke
Brooke Shields?
Shields.
It
Yeah.
was those are the shows he did. And then he did his master work. If they're paying, Rhea just said it, they're paying for the name. They're going, well, Shonda Rhimes did it. She did Grey's Anatomy. It's going to be awesome. And it's probably going to be okay because she's a really great showrunner, but it's not going to be as good as the origin show, the
Right.
show that kicked it off. And that's true of almost all these people. It's a dumb thing to do this. Taylor Sheridan, he keeps doing the same show. Who
Well, I
needs
would
to
say
see that?
he's the one exception because everybody keeps
Yeah.
watching the same show, even though it's the
But
same
it
one.
is the same show. It's not like he's hitting a lot of different notes. He's
Yeah.
hitting the same notes.
Yeah.
So no, I think it's a really dumb thing. And I'm glad it's failing because they shouldn't waste our money. We want to pay less for streaming. And we're
Yes,
not
we
going to
do.
do that if they keep throwing money away with guys who put out mediocre material.
You know what might be a good topic for future is like because I'm trying to think who's had two shows of equal greatness. I can think of Vince Gilligan
Vince Gilligan, I
and
think
Larry
that's it.
David are the only two I can
Yep,
think of
Yeah.
because Curb is as good as
you're right.
Seinfeld
You're
on its
right.
best days. I mean,
Those are the only two. I
that I
can't
can
think of
think
another.
of. Yeah, I
Nope.
mean, maybe it'd be worth exploring. Okay, so something we talked about last week, and I wanted to talk about it this week. There's a show, Angelo, you mentioned it. It
Yep.
was Leanne, the new show
Yep.
on Netflix by Chuck Lorre. And
Right.
you were telling us it has a laugh track, which is just
Yeah.
insane that a show
Yeah.
has a laugh track now. In the old days, I don't know if kids remember the actual laugh track that they would play. You would hear the same laughs over and over again because it was basically like a piano that had laughs on it, and they would have a guy playing it to make it laugh. In the old days, fine. TV was new. They thought everybody was a dope and wouldn't know when to laugh when the jokes came. But starting in the early 2000s with shows like The Office and Parks and Rec and Modern Family, it felt like the laugh track was dead for good. Rhea, when you hear the laugh track, do you think like, does it feel like a throwback? Does it feel like an insult of your intelligence? Like, do you keep watching, is what I'm asking, or do you turn it off?
So I feel like it's dated, almost in the sense, I'll throw out another sports analogy here. When you watch old hockey games and there's no ads on the boards,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, it's just you just think of it. Whenever I see an old sitcom pop up, I kind of find it really cheesy when I hear the laugh track. So in my estimation, although I grew up with it, for me growing up with it, completely normal. Once it went away, whenever I hear it now, I go, okay, that's incredibly cheesy.
Yeah. First of all, Chuck Lorre is another example of a guy who had one great show in him, Two and a Half Men, and a
Yep.
lot of other shows that were okay, some not okay, but he's still making shows. He's older than I am now, so he must be close to 80. But here's the thing, all right? Gail and I sat down to watch this because we're always looking for something new. Oh, a comedy. Let's check this out. The minute the laugh track went off the first time, we looked at each other and went, no, deal breaker, because it's treating you like an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. This started in the 50s with an engineer named Charlie Douglas. He came up with the idea to sweeten the reaction by using canned laughter. And you're right. This people that you're hearing on a laugh track today,
Yeah.
in many cases, have been dead and buried for generations. These are
Yes.
still things they recorded back in the 60s and 70s. The funny part about it is then you realize, Jay, that there's a lot of things that I know for me will end me watching something instantaneously.
Right.
If I see this situation or this individual, I'm out. And I'm fascinated by that. Deal breakers. And
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what some of our listeners think. Like they go, oh, that's it. I'm out. I'm out.
Right.
If you kill an animal within the first 10 to 15 minutes of a
Oh,
show, I will never
oh.
watch it.
Rhea, you can't kill an animal.
No.
No, you can't do it. Let me give you some about. I tell you.
Yeah.
First of all, this is just me. I know it's not you, Jay. Animation, cartoons, not
Yeah.
interested.
I love
All right.
cartoons.
Any network reboot. Now, obviously, Dexter was a great reboot. Most network reboots stink. All right. Another one. Here's one more. This is new now. They're doing this in every show. They start the show with a climactic moment. The hero of the show is lying in a heap of his own blood, right? And you go, oh my God, what's this about? Blink 6 weeks before, two
Right.
weeks before, and
I hate
suddenly,
that trope. I hate it.
don't you? Don't you hate
Oh,
that?
yep,
Rhea, I no longer will tolerate it. I
yep.
get rid of it. And Duster is the most recent example of this. They did it every episode. They started every episode with the big moment of the episode and then built back up to it. Not interested. And one more. If I see the face of Sean Penn, I don't care if it's a cameo in the final 10 minutes of a great movie, I'm out.
Angelo, do you ever accidentally like see somebody playing with a catcher's mitt and think it's Sean Penn, and then you turn it off because you're like, oh, it's Sean Penn, and you're like, oh no, it's just a catcher's mitt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he looks like a catcher's mitt. I acknowledge that. No, there's certain people, he's the one that's at the top of my list.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch him in
Yeah.
anything, under any conditions. I hate the guy.
Take a look at Sean Penn, kids, and do not smoke and wear sunscreen. I think it's
Yep.
important that you do both of those things. Well, I'll tell you one person, Angelo, who
Yep.
never is a deal breaker, not for us, our great sponsor, Steven Singer, right? I mean, he's always a deal maker.
Yeah, this would be a real trauma for me if Sean Penn appeared with a beautiful pendant, a diamond pendant from Steven Singer, because I would love to see the pendant, but not who's wearing it.
Why do you think he's never used him as an
Yeah,
endorsement?
another example. He uses honest, great people like me and Rhea because we tell the truth about Steven Singer. And here's the truth about him. You're not going to get a song and dance. You're not going to get mumbo jumbo. You're going to go in, look at a piece of jewelry, look at the price. That's the actual price. You don't have to haggle with it. That's the price. And you will get an honest, great piece of jewelry for a fair price. If there's something more you're looking for in a jewelry store, you're looking for the wrong things because that's what it takes. We don't know that much about jewelry. We need an expert. That expert is Steven Singer. The other corner of 8th and Wall, that's Steven Singer Jewelers.
What Angelo always says about the price is so true. Like a couple minutes before we do the show every day, I always pop on his website. There's always, the top 12, what we have here. There's a section, diamonds. Here's a really cool thing they did, and I've done it throughout the years because I've been associated with Steven for almost 30 years. Angelo, you almost 40. Um, if you want to start out your significant other, every woman loves a pair of diamond studs. Let me just tell you, they're great. They don't get caught on anything. You can always wear them. What you do is you start her out with those beautiful pair of diamond studs. Like 5 or 7 years, you take them back in, you trade them, you go up. You just keep going up with Steven Singer, and it's a beautiful thing. I was just reminded of it when I went on and checked out their diamond section.
Yep.
Gorgeous, you'll love it.
As someone who has often been considered a stud, I can endorse what Rhea just said. He is the best. You will get what you need at the right price. Steven Singer Jewelers.
We are always thrilled to have Steven as our sponsor, and we are doubly thrilled to have Rhea Hughes talking about British television. What do you got for us this week, Rhea?
So I'm just going to throw in a couple things. Jay, you had gotten a fan mail from somebody who had asked if I would do a review of Blue Lights. I believe I did one a couple months ago. So maybe we tell people, maybe the next episode, on how they can go back and find those episodes.
Sure, I'll look
because
that up.
Yeah, I did really do a review of it. I liked it originally, had some issues with it towards the end of season 1, but it was a banger and I did love it. So I reviewed Irish Blood last week with Alicia Silverstone, and I was kind of lukewarm. They're dropping it once a week now. I'm up through episode 3. It's a cozy mystery. It's amusing. She is basically still the Cher from Clueless, but she's good in it. I will just say it's entertaining. It's a show. I do these shows while you're making dinner. It's an enjoyable mystery. I will say that they've layered it nicely. So I popped on to watch a show on Netflix called The Dead Boy Detectives. I did not know it was maybe for a younger crowd. I did not know it was part of DC, which is not normally stuff I watch. It's part of the Sandman family, Jay, if you're
Yes,
familiar with that.
love Sandman. Love Sandman.
So, what the Dead Boys Detectives was, what kind of intrigued me, two English kids who attended a boarding school in London, 70 years apart, died. They never made it to the afterlife. And instead, they decided to stay as ghosts in the real world to solve supernatural crimes. It's got a supernatural element to it, which I generally don't like,
Yeah.
but it's got some drama and some comedy. They get hooked up with also a teenage psychic, Crystal Palace, which is a very interesting name. But where I really laughed out loud, so it's 8 episodes on Netflix. In like the second episode, they introduce the cat element, and there's a cat standing there, and the one guy, the psychic set, who's human, she's human,
Yeah.
says, "Oh, you can't get anything from cats." And the cat lets out a string of obscenities, which made me
Oh,
laugh so hard. I go,
oh,
okay, I'm in.
yeah.
Um, Unfortunately, so I want to let people know, I'm through about 4 or 5 episodes. I like it. They solve, they just, the mystery of the week. They're solving crimes. They're supernatural. Netflix loved it originally. It was a banger, top 10 through the first 4 episodes, and then everything fell off. So they did not renew it for a second season. So I always like to let people know there won't be a second season. I was entertained by it, but I think it skews more on the younger. I think 20-year-olds will kind of look at this as a Riverdale,
Right.
something like that. But I found it amusing. It's
I
called Dead
really
Boys
like
Detectives.
I really liked the comic book version of this. I remember I think it was a one shot. Really
Yeah,
enjoyed it. I will just say this to tag on to what Rhea said. Do not look up the creator Neil Gaiman. Just watch the show.
yeah.
Don't listen. Don't read anything about. If you want to enjoy it, don't learn anything about the guy who
I knew
created.
nothing about him, and I found it enjoyable.
Yeah, that's the good way to do it, Rhea. All right, Angela, what do you got for us this week?
I got one that's okay and one that's really good. Okay is a movie that's out on demand right now, Materialists,
Oh yeah.
starring Dakota Johnson. And the movie is predictable. The twists are uninventive. The pace is slow. And I still enjoyed it because I could
Is she
look at
naked?
Rhea. There's a couple of scenes in it, not entirely naked. That is one of the most beautiful women in
She
the
is.
history of women. Don Johnson and I'm sorry, who is it?
Melanie,
Melanie
Melanie,
Griffith. Melanie
yeah,
Griffith.
Melanie Griffith.
And let me just say, you could just look at her for 2 hours. To me, it's still rather fulfilling.
She's
But
beautiful, Angelo.
oh,
She's beautiful in a unique way
right.
because she's not a classic beauty,
No,
but
you're
she
right.
is beautiful.
You're right. But this is the way my mind thinks. So I'm watching her and I'm mesmerized by how beautiful she is. And I'm going, all right, she just broke up with Coldplay lead singer Chris Martin,
Yep.
Yeah.
who previously was married to Goop. I'm sorry.
From Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow. Where does he go from here? Could someone tell me where does he when you have
And I'm going to make you feel okay.
yeah,
He's beyond loaded. He's
right?
going to be okay.
Yeah.
He's more famous now for catching the couple cheating in the
Yes.
stand.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
but all I could think is, God bless that guy. Man, he's shopping from the top shelf. All right. Now, what I saw that was great, and it's great for TV fans like us, is docuseries on Netflix called Fit for TV.
Oh
It's
yeah.
an
Yes.
exploration of the former show. It was on for 17 seasons. It was called The Biggest Loser. And people would go on. It's amazing when you think about it now that this was allowed to happen.
Yeah.
But people would go on really obese, 100, 200 pounds overweight. And they would go on and there would be a competition to see who could lose the biggest percentage of their body weight. And they would do it with these trainers who were screaming at them, Jillian Michaels, and they would berate them, they would abuse them, they fat shamed, they did things that you never thought would ever be allowed. And this show probed the things that they did, legal and otherwise, because they caught Jillian Michaels, one of the traders, using pills she was not supposed to be using to get him
Wow.
to lose more weight. And you watch this and you go, oh my God, this happened within the past 10 years on American TV. And what really made me want to see it was, and I hope I'm not disclosing anything here that I shouldn't be saying, but about a decade ago, when it was still on, we worked with Hollis Thomas.
Yep.
And Hollis Thomas attempted to get on the show and was to the finals. He got bumped for, they were going to take a football player, and he got bumped for the former quarterback for the Dolphins, Scott Mitchell,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And Scott Mitchell went on it. And from what I understand, Scott Mitchell lost a ton of weight and then gained it all back. Some of them did, some of them didn't.
Oh,
But
the main guy in that, Ange. Remember he dropped to like 194
yes, yep,
and then they interview him and he's
yep.
back to like 300 pounds.
No, he's bigger than he's a blimp now. And he at the well, I don't want to give it away, but he kind of says, I think I'm going to have to go on a diet or something. It's like, well, that's what the whole damn show was. It's fascinating because it shows you how they were willing to do things that were not good for these people in
Yeah.
the interest of creating good television.
It's a great
It was.
documentary. I
Yeah.
saw it.
You know,
You
between
did see it. Okay,
Yeah.
good. It's really good. 3 episodes, maybe 2 hours total running time. And you'll be fascinated by what they did behind the scenes, victimizing these people to make better television. And
between this Angelo and the one that we saw on Nickelodeon a couple of months back,
yes.
maybe just never go on television. Maybe that's what
No,
we're doing.
there's a lot of these, and I'm always fascinated about it because it gives you insight into when we're watching TV, what we're really seeing.
It might
Absolutely.
be fake, guys, just like us. We're not really seeing it.
Wait a minute.
Oh my goodness, where'd Rhea
He
go?
is, we are using AI for Rhea
Yeah.
this week.
Uh, Before we close out the show, there's just one other thing I wanted to bring up. An elderly neighbor called me, and I only say elderly because she may have misheard, she may have misremembered, maybe she was watching a blank screen. I don't know. But here's all she said. She was watching ESPN's broadcast of the Little League World Series. The North Brisbane Little League team from Australia.
Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, they won and they were interviewed after the game. One of the kids mentioned that his favorite thing was to watch stand-up comedy. And they said, well, who's your favorite stand-up? And his reply was Jay Black. Now,
Wow.
I did a
Wow.
search. I was like, there's got to be another Jay Black in Australia. That's what they're talking about. No
No.
Jay Blacks in Australia. So here's what I need to have happen. If you are listening to this program and you know anybody in Australia, if you know anybody in North Brisbane, if you know anybody on the Little League team in North Brisbane, please let them know I'm looking for this kid. I want to send them merch. I have t-shirts. I have
Jay, I have an idea. I guarantee you, if they were in the Little League World Series, they have a social media account. Tag the show with them or
that's
tag this clip. Tag this clip.
That's a great idea. Jared, our producer, who we love, pull this clip out. Let's make it a short and send it out there and get people talking about it. I just want to find the kid because if
Yeah.
it's not real, I'll look stupid and that'll be hilarious. If it is real, this kid will get merch and we'll bring him on the show and talk about how great I am.
Wait a minute. We have merch.
Well, I have merch. I have Jay Black.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes,
what I
merch.
thought.
Yeah.
We someday hope to have merch, but not yet. Let me go over what we've done. I must say, too, to that person in Brisbane, I have also seen Jay Black on stage, and you have no idea how great he is. You have no idea,
No,
right? And if you
amazing.
see him once, you will want him to get a Netflix special. That he deserves it. Anyway, Dexter is available in all of its forms on Showtime and, of course, on Paramount Plus. Leanne, if you want to see if you can handle a laugh track, that's on Netflix. Also on Netflix is Fit for TV, the docuseries that I was talking about. Materialists on Demand. It will eventually be streaming, but not yet. Rhea's telling us to watch Irish Blood. Prime and AMC. Alicia Silverstone's in it, playing the same character she played in Clueless in
Yes.
every other movie she's ever been in. And Dead Boy Detectives is available on Netflix.
Yes.
Check them all out.
That man right there is Angelo Cataldi. You can buy his book Loud at angelocatali.com, amazon.com, or hear him read it to you softly in your ears at audible.com. That lady right there is Rhea Hughes, available every morning on YouTube with the WIP Morning Show. My name's Jay Black. If you want to see me do stand up and you live in the Medford, Marlton, South Jersey area, I will be at Studio 67 in Medford this coming September 20th. Go to my website or its website for tickets. Would love to see you out there. And please, North Brisbane, if you're listening, we want to hear from you. We'll be back next week with more great TV content. Thanks for listening.